Alright, hello, this will probably be a pretty long video. This is the developer commentary for Killer Clowns 2016. It was the first game I fully made by myself without using asset store stuff, apart from the player controller, I guess. This was the third game I ever made. I made this right after 087, and in my mind, I thought this game had a really long development cycle. I thought this game took ages to come out whenever I released it, and then I went and looked back and it was only 2.5 months, maybe 3, of development time, and that's not that long for a game. That's really not that long, but at the time I thought it was a huge endeavor. I'm really fond of this game. I guess I would say I'm proud of it because I consider it to be my first real game, if that makes sense. But it's still terrible in terms of gameplay, which I'll get into whenever I actually play the game. But the first thing I made for the game was the itch.io page. Well, obviously I started working on the game, but I made the itch.io page and I filled it up with all of this junk. I updated it over time, and I didn't understand how itch.io worked at the time. So I thought it would gain traction if I uploaded these devlogs, which I'll look through after. There's a lot of extra stuff to look through after I play the game. And yeah, I was uploading devlogs and all that, and for a few months, and then the game came out. That I don't know. I can't describe this game. I'm really tired. I woke up really early to record this because I knew it would take hours, and I don't have all day. The inspiration for this game came from I think I watched a YouTube video, and the Killer Clown sightings were mentioned in it, and I was like, oh, I should make a game about that. And I think at the time I also played Dusk by David Szymanski, and I really liked it. It's still to this day probably in my top 5 games ever. It's a really good game. Check it out. But I think really what made me want to try and do something like Dusk is mostly that I looked at the art style, and I realized that while it's still the game still looks good, but it's also the graphics aren't. It's really hard to it's not hard to explain. Low poly models, yet they still look good. that's the a big takeaway I took from this game and other retro shooters. So I was like, oh, maybe I could actually make my own game, and hopefully one day I do, because Killer Clowns was not a game in any way, shape or form. I mean, it was, but there was no fail state. But I'll get into that once I start playing the game. But yeah, I played Dusk, and then I also saw the Killer Clowns video, and I was like, oh. So with the combination of that idea of game about the Killer Clowns sightings from 2016, which, by the way, were if you don't know about them, it was mass hysteria over the internet in 2016. People were saying Killer Clowns were invading specifically America, but I remember even in my neighborhood people were talking about Killer Clowns. There were virtually no Killer Clowns as far as I can remember. There were no Killer Clowns. Nobody actually got killed or hurt, and it was just mass hysteria. So I don't think it's that horrible to make a game about a real event, because it was not really a real event. It was just an internet mass hysteria thing. So with the idea of making a game about that, really I wanted the game to explore, just give a funny backstory as to why there were Killer Clowns, and just make a goofy world, really. Because I realized after making 087 that I'm very incompetent at making horror that early in my career, and I decided to make a funny game, and I think that's what led to me having so much fun with this game, is that I didn't take it seriously at all like the others, and as a result I really enjoyed working on it, and it's probably the most I've ever enjoyed working on a project till this day. So I'm trying to recapture that spirit with future games. I keep cutting this sentence off. So with the inspiration of the Killer Clown sightings mixed with me recently playing Dusk and other retro shooters, I was like, oh, I should make a retro shooter about the Killer Clown sightings from 2016, and then I should call it Killer Clowns 2016 because it's a reference to Doom 2016. Ho ho ho, ha ha ha, really funny. Okay, it's not that bad, but it's not the smartest joke in the world. And yeah, I don't have much more to say. I'll talk about the development as I play it. I'll look at the itch.io page here because it explains a lot of it. It's Halloween night 2016 and killer clowns have just stormed the streets, and it's up to you to stop them using unnecessarily violent means. I wrote this before I like got a good chunk of the game done, so I thought I would have a lot more weapons and like things to do in the game. As you'll see, this might be like the most basic shooter ever made. In this very short but sweet spooky comedy micro FPS that you can zone out to, you'll save the world ? From evil killer clowns, conquer many environments, and learn what it truly means to IDK. Inspired by the likes of Dusk and Doom mixed with a bit of Chopped Goblins. Okay, this was during the time where I was really into David Szymanski's work, so I think I mentioned him constantly in this game, and he will come up again while I'm playing this, because there's some stuff to do with him in this game again. But I'll get to that. But this was around the time I was like really big into all of his games, and I'm not sure if he coined the term, but he used the term micro FPS to describe Chop Goblins, which is another one of his games. It's just an FPS that you play in one sitting and turn your brain off. So yeah, it was pretty good. I like Chop Goblins. But anyways, inspired by the likes of Dusk, Doom, and mixed with a bit of Chop Goblins, and familiar internet comedy, Killer Clowns mixes both new and old, spooky and funny, strange and weird to create something unique and maybe mentally scarring. I don't know why I was trying so hard with the marketing talk here. Nowadays I just put like lol in descriptions and stuff, and it's just not that serious. Features a story the likes of which you might have seen before. Amazing cutting edge graphics. This quote was from 1993. I even think these would be good in 1993. Or no, wait. I mean, they would be pretty good, but not cutting edge. I wouldn't imagine. And then there's some gifs of the graphics and all that. Really generic guns, but they sound cool, I swear. I don't recall the guns sounding particularly cool. I don't know what I was talking about. Music by Jelly Avery Miles. That is like one of the best parts of the game, the soundtrack. I think it's really good. Roughly 30 minutes to an hour-long campaign. I'd give it 20. It's not that long. 2 extra levels and a credits museum, as well as a clown cyclopedia. I forgot I added that. I'll get to that also. There's a lot of stuff to get to. I'll get to that eventually, and then report any bugs in the comments, especially crashes. Yeah, this game was really poorly optimized, and I would go back today and fix all the optimization errors in it. But the thing is, this is on my old PC's hard drive, and I didn't back it up to the cloud. And I learned how to optimize games semi-properly right after this, right after I lost access to the project files for this game. So hopefully there's no crashes, but we'll see. It should run alright. If it ran on my old PC, it will definitely run on this thing. And then there was a bunch of versions. This is the initial version that was really unstable. Oh god, I remember this thing. This is really cringy. I remember when the Unity, what was it? The pay per download of your game thing, which is still really shitty. If they ever is a horrible thing to even think about. But I got so mad about that, I updated Killer Clowns just to erase or make fun of the Unity logo in it, and then this was just an actual update, and then this was an actual update. We'll get to all of that later. I'll look at the comments later. Let's just play the game, and then I'll talk as I go. I know I'm really stumbling around here, but this game is so dense with shit to talk about. It's just frightening. It's very frightening. Okay, I'll load up the game now. So we'll just play the most recent version because I didn't remove anything per se from the game. I think I only added and fixed. I also have some early builds here, so I could look at them later if I have time. As you can see here, there's a lot of stuff in the folder. So we got this is the game, these two folders, and these two are included by default with Unity. We got the manual, the full credits, the extras, which I will look at later, and the disclaimer. So we've got the manual. Killer Clowns 2016 manual. Welcome to Killer Clowns 2016. Due to the old hardware of 1993 and the fact there's an unfixable bug that won't let you progress without restarting the game, which I did fix in this version, so I don't know why this is still here. You will have to close and reopen the game after each level. I'm aware this is very annoying, but if it wasn't like this, the game would be cancelled completely. I felt completely wrong, and I'm pretty sure that this is Unity's fault. It's not Unity's fault. I was so dumb back then. Yeah, so there was a bug in the original version of the game that every time you switched levels, you would have to restart the game, like the application. The reason for that is some like weird loading thing, which I'd say like half of it was on Unity, but a lot of it was just I forgot to add a line of code. I copied like a gun script from a YouTube tutorial, and that gun script was terrible. Like that was a really bad gun script. And in the script, there's no null check for the camera, so every time like a new level is loaded, the entire gun script completely breaks because there's no null check for the camera. And I didn't realize how to fix that until way after the game came out, but I did fix it eventually. We got the controls. Sure, I know the controls. They're very basic. Full list of credits, development, direction, and most other stuff is me. Music by Miles. Voice of Melon Dusk, who we will get to, is Garker. We got some playtesters, complex textures. Special thanks to my brother, David Szymanski. Again, I'll get to that. The object, I mentioned that in the last video. The object is in this game in multiple places. Oh god, yes, okay. There's like one script in this game. I was like really struggling at the time to like make the clowns like chase you and like face the player and all that, and there were no good YouTube tutorials, and Stack Overflow is Stack Overflow and Reddit is Reddit, and whenever Discord's Clyde was a thing, which was like Discord's chatbot, I asked Clyde on a whim one day, like as a joke in some sort of Discord conversation, if he could make the thing for me, and he actually did. Like he made the lines, like a few lines of code for me. I didn't know how controversial and like how bad AI was at the time. I thought it was quite cool, so I put Discord Clyde in the special thanks for this game. It's so stupid. It's really dumb. I actually planned to include it in the credits level, but I took it out last second because then I realized, and I obviously forgot to remove it from here. But it gives me something funny to talk about. So outside of that, most of this game is completely programmed from scratch, so that's quite cool. First person controller, yeah, that's the one asset store thing I used. The gun scripts, here we go. Yeah, the gun scripts are from PlyDev. Probably a good guy. It's just that gun script was really, really impractical for my use, anyways. Made with Unity and lots of love and care. Well, that's true. I really liked. I put loads of love and care into this game, and clowns and killers. Killer Clowns 2016 manual. This is the same one again. Wait, what? Did I? Oh, here, disclaimer, sorry. Disclaimer, while this game is based off a real meme event, any in-game events are purely fixed. I don't know why thought I had to preface that. There's a talking melon at the end. And any resemblance to real-life clown incidents are coincidental. Yeah, I was really scared of, like, this game actually being, like, controversial or something like that. But after doing my research, even after the game came out, like I said, the Killer Clowns thing was like purely mass hysteria. Like I don't think much, like no, but like was nearly zero, if not any people were affected. I'm not sure that sentence makes sense. I'm tired. But like, like not many people actually even saw Killer Clowns. It was just like a big mass hysteria fucking Facebook event. I hated those 2016 clowns, but I don't encourage any violence against them. And likewise, yeah, the whole game centers around you shooting clowns, and clowns already get enough shit, so I'm like, cut them a break. I don't encourage any clown violence against civilians either. Don't beat up clowns. They're actually cool people IRL. Take your anger out on the game. Yeah, that's about right. No clown has ever done anything wrong. But yeah, I don't know why I was so scared about all of these, I had to put all these disclaimers and all, because, I don't know, did I think the game was going to be big or something? Because I definitely didn't think it was going to be big. I think I was mostly just doing it for fun. That's why I was writing, there were devlogs every week and all that, which I'll look at later. I was mostly doing it for fun. But I don't know why I thought people would give me shit for making Killer Clowns 2016. Whatever. Let's start the game. I'm gonna open my volume mixer right now, just because I know the game's gonna be loud as shit. There's my old Unity intro. Good God. Good. Alright, that'll do. This is Killer Clowns 2016. Fun fact about the main menu, I didn't know how to do buttons. You can see the extras thing is a different font. These aren't actually buttons, these are just like pictures that if you click on them they do something. What is extras? Oh yeah, okay, I'll look at these later. Let's just play the game. This is version 1.3.0. But I think I called this update about time because I finally fixed that big bug. Let's just play and see what happens. Oh, we got level select, I forgot. Yeah, level 1. Oh, it's been so long since I've seen this game. So this is Killer Clowns 2016. You got your clown enemy. This is a basic pistol I modeled in Blender. This is like one of the first things I ever modeled in Blender. I think I did okay for my first ever Blender model. It looks alright. You got the Killer Clown. This is also my first time animating anything ever. So it's obviously not very good. The clowns don't actually hurt you because I didn't know how to do that. So they just sit here there and beat you with a bat. It's quite funny. But yeah, you just shoot the clowns and then they disappear because I don't know how to do that. I really want to remake this game one day with like actual code. That might be one of the first things I do in my next era of making games completely independently without relying on any external code generators, I guess. We got a candle. I think this is, I don't know why there's a candle here. Yeah, this level was probably had the longest. This level probably took the longest to make. And yeah, I remember I spent probably out of the 2.5 months, maybe this took half a month. Maybe even a bit more than that, mostly because I was just figuring out what I wanted to do with the game. I don't think the game looks too bad, actually. Definitely looks better than the other two games that we've looked at so far. This is my first time experimenting with the retro style. But yeah, Killer Clowns. All of these houses are duplicated prefabs. But I deleted the prefabs because I didn't know how prefabs work. So in one of the early versions of the game, all of the prefabs would just return constant error messages in the console because there was no prefab yet. They were also prefab. It was really annoying. We got these pumpkins that I modeled in Blender. Jesus, look at that. We got these street lights, which I spent a while on. Yeah, I don't have much commentary. This is the main character's house. I remember that. The main character of this game never actually has ever had an official depiction of them, but I've always had them in my mind. I'm gonna draw the thumbnail for this one. I'm drawing the thumbnail for all of these, so I'll put the main character, what they look like, my interpretation up on screen right now. That's the main character. They're wearing a Halloween costume of the Doomslayer, or the Doom guy, and it's a cardboard box. Yeah, that's about it. So the plot of this game is the killer clowns have invaded the streets, and you have to stop them. Or you don't have to stop them. It's just that Halloween's your favorite holiday, and they're ruining Halloween. So you get really annoyed, and you like try to go and find the source of the killer clowns, and then kill them all, and get rid of them. That's about it. This is just a normal neighborhood level. There's nothing too special. I had a fun time doing all the Halloween decorations. There's a lot of references in this game. Like every other asset is probably a reference to something, so I'll try and point out as many as I can. We got some like other houses in the skyline there. That's kind of cool. I tried doing that Half-Life like fake level or like fake outside level design thing. It's not exclusively Half-Life, but that's what I associate it with. We've got this ghost thing here. I drew like 10 of these. I'm not sure if they're all in the level. Like half of these are references to other things. We got more clowns to kill. The red stuff that comes out of the clowns isn't blood. It is, I mean, it was supposed to be blood, but I kind of changed my mind at the very end that these aren't actually real clowns, like real people. I've got another ghost there. These aren't actually like real clowns, like real people. They are robot, like, kind of clowns. And the red stuff leaking out of them is a clown juice because they're fueled by clown juice.
They gave me clown juice instead of Coke.
Yeah, that's about it. More Halloween decorations. Oh, I remember this thing. This is the first time I ever animated something in Unity. It's just a skeleton hand moving around. I'm pretty sure that's the first thing I ever animated. It's really kind of interesting to see all my older models because I wouldn't call myself a good like low poly modeler now, but I definitely like have improved and I can make things that look like what they're supposed to be usually, and it's just kind of interesting to see that this is what my interpretation of a skeleton's hand was, but they're all like Halloween decorations because it's Halloween. Another big spider up here. Okay. I have a story behind this. I had this level drawn out in paper for the longest time when I was drawing it in class one day. I remember asking people around me. I needed a way to block off this tunnel. And you can see my final solution was fucking bad because it's just like boarded off. I don't know why, but it's boarded off. But in the original thing, I didn't know why this was boarded off, and I asked people around me, hey, what should it be boarded off with? And they were, I think some guy, his name was Rob, I'll not say anything else. Some guy called Rob told me to like add like police barriers here, and like ambulances and paramedics walking around. And at the time, I got really irrationally annoyed at that. Not looking back at it now, I mean, I doubt Rob knew that I was shit at making games and didn't know how to do that, but I got really annoyed and I was like, no dude, no. And I got so annoyed that when I boarded this up, there's an image behind this wall. I'll put an image of it on screen because I have it in my files somewhere. Behind this wall is a JPEG that says fuck you, Rob. It's really petty and stupid, but it's quite funny also. That's the story behind fuck you, Rob. It's hidden in Killer Clowns. This is an absolute book from Undertale. Just straight up. It's a pretty bad drawing. I drew all of this on my brother's iPad, so I eventually did get my own drawing device, which I use to this day now. More than my brother uses his iPad. We got the park. The park. It's the park. It's a park. The park from the. It's the park. That's not very funny. I tried so desperately to be funny in this game that it was kind of sad. Proud to have been awarded the worst fucking park ever. Again, it's like has-been hotel humor. Like I just put fuck before everything. By the Society of Bad Parks. That's kind of funny. We got this park. Let me kill this guy. I'm pretty sure this yeah, someone stole the fucking swing. Because I didn't know how to model a swing. This is supposed to be like a merry-go-round. This is a slide. You can go up a slide. You can go down a slide. This is the big tungsten cube. I think that's kind of funny. In the middle of a children's play park, there's just a big tungsten cube. You. There's this play structure. More lights. These lights all have like this beam effect on them. I struggled so hard with making these beams. I don't know why. It's not that hard to do. We got this pumpkin again. Fun fact about this game. I mentioned it in Couch Simulator. The normals are. Is it the normal? I can't remember. Something's. Or no, it's the vectors for the character controller are unnormalized. Meaning if you hold 2 diagonal buttons, you go twice, or like nearly twice as fast. So this is your normal walking speed, and this is when you're like, you're holding the 2 buttons when you're moving diagonally, because you're giving 2 directional inputs at the same time, if I remember correctly. I've said this before. Character controllers are not my area of expertise. I could be wrong. I'll put up an explanation on the screen. We've got a clown here. Can they come through walls still? They can. They used to be able to come through walls, and I just left it in the game for the longest time. More pumpkin. This is a really uninteresting area. I thought it was cool level design at the time, because like you jump over the wall and then you go in the house. I mean, it's kind of cool. We got another ghost up there. This area, there's something hidden behind here, but I can't remember what it is exactly. I guess we'll never know. But we enter the house. There's nothing in the house. I remember these walls were really hard to do at the time because I didn't know how to cut holes and stuff. It's still better to do walls like this than to use Pro Builder again, which is what I use for doing all the levels. It's better to just do that than cut holes in Pro Builder, because Pro Builder, like, holes are really horrible. Like Boolean CSGs are terrible in Pro Builder. Here we go. Right, I mentioned this in the Couch Simulator developer commentary. This is the Couch Simulator room in Killer Clowns. So Couch Simulator is, yeah, the Couch Simulator house is just a place in Killer Clowns. I'm not sure if Couch Simulator is canon to Killer Clowns. I don't fucking know. Is it? You know what? Yeah, it's canon. Couch Simulator is inside the Killer Clowns universe. And I talked about this door. So I definitely did not retcon the door. So the door's still here, but I forgot the window, so unlucky. But yeah, you come out the door, which I explained in the Couch Simulator video. The door is geometrically like terrible because you just walk straight out the thing beside a window. So I thought I just turned it into a joke where there's just a hole in the wall. Whoa. So there you go. That's the Couch Simulator house. That's what it officially looks like. We got the Pac-Man ghosts up there. It's the most obvious reference of all time. We got the Ghostbusters. We got these clowns standing around this house. I'm not sure what their purpose is. I designed a lot of these levels first before putting clowns in them, which was a really bad idea. Not that there's any gameplay, but you know. You can see the city over there. So your goal is to make it to the city in this game. Got some more lights and stuff. If I remember correctly, there's like shadows on the up here. Yeah, up there. You can't see that clearly, but I'll put an image up on screen. Throughout most of the game, there's like these little shadow people standing on top of the walls. Or not the most of the game, this level, sorry. There's like shadow people looking over from like the neighborhood up there. And one of them, this one over here in specific, is just Shadow the Hedgehog, but blacked out, obviously, because Shadow, that's the joke, ha 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 ha. I put the shadows in kind of as a reference to that one Mario Galaxy level. Oh, there's a clip in the geometry. I don't know what's that. But the Hell Valley Sky Trees in Mario. I'm not a big Mario fan, but that's one of the things I really like in some of the Mario games. They have like cool secrets in them, like the Hell Valley Sky Trees. I think they're really cool. Yeah, we continue along here. There's just more arbitrary clowns that you can just walk past, but I'm gonna play by the rules. Ripping gameplay. Oh, there's no way to go back. There's something I missed that I wanted to explain. Can I go back? I don't think you can. Behind one of the walls back there, there is like an image of a lead pipe, and this was around the time the lead pipe sound effect was a big meme. Or the metal pipe, I don't know. But it was like a reference to that. There's like a lead pipe behind a wall, and it says lead pipe sound effect. There's a lot of stuff like that where I just hid stuff behind walls. More houses. Well, it's there's not much to talk about in this level. You got a graveyard over here, or it's just Halloween decorations. I'm pretty sure it's just Halloween decorations. But this level took me probably the longest out of all of them because I wanted to establish the vibe, and I think I did alright. I think this gives its own vibe off quite well, even though if the vibe is shitty, it's still cool. Whoa! Got jump scared. Okay, these in every level there's a secret TV hidden, and they all have hidden messages on them. That's about it. They're hidden in every level. I do remember where most of them are, so hopefully I'll be able to find them all. There's a cat up there. The cat was supposed to be way more prominent in the game. Like, it was... If there were like 4 characters, I know there's 4 characters on the thumbnail for this video. I've already did the line work for it. The 4 like big characters for this game are the protagonist, Melon Dusk, I'll get to him, and the clowns, and then also the cat. But the cat doesn't do anything. The cat was going to have a much bigger role. Like, it would. I couldn't tell you what the role was exactly, but it was supposed to be like a main part of the game, but the cat just never came back after this point. And it's like, it's hidden as well, so I don't know. Oh, that's kind of cool. I didn't realize it gave us one a backyard. Oh, they all have backyards. Anything else? Nope. I guess we'll move on. Don't know why you can't go through this one. It's a road tunnel thing. Yeah, that's about it for this level. If I remember correctly, hidden behind this roof is the object. This pyramid, or like one of the ones back there. One of the roof pyramids is just the object, and it has like a circle behind it, and it's the object. I'll also put the image of that up on screen. This music. Oh, there's a floating lamppost. I didn't realize. This music, if I recall, is called. Actually, wait. Give me a second. Okay, so this song in the soundtrack is called FTGDC. Miles was the one who named all the tracks, apart from the last one. I named the last one. Miles was the one who named all the tracks, and all of these tracks I have something to say about them, so I'll just say as I go on through the levels. The track for this level is called FTGDC. That was because I didn't want to put it on Spotify and have the album marked as explicit. But the official name that Miles gave me for the track was Fuck These Goddamn Clowns. This was a while ago, okay? We're different people now. I know it's a cringy name. But that's what FTGDC stands for in the soundtrack. I don't know what relevance it has to this level. I imagine that's just the main character speaking because he hates the clowns. And then we can go to the town. It's through here, and then you go into the forest. Originally, when you beat a level, you would get an end screen, which I'll put up now. It was kind of funny, I think. And you just press Alt F4 and you have to restart and pick the level you want to go to next. Oh, I see what I meant on the store page by the weapons sounding cool. They do sound cool. I like the Miles did the sound effect for this in GarageBand, if I recall. This is the shotgun. I made like so many models of the shotgun and ended up just using these 2 tubes stuck to a block. You can see the block there if I like wiggle it about. The music for this level is also pretty good. But fun fact about the music there, this one's called Ooh Trees, and That guitar riff in the background is the same guitar riff that they use in this game visual novel called Your Turn to Die. And every time I hear it, I can only think about that game because it's used for one of the main characters' themes in that game. So it permanently has Your Turn to Die etched into it. But anyways, you come through the forest. You're coming from the town, or oh, I forgot you could see like the buildings behind you. You're coming from the suburbs where you live. You're coming into the forest, and there's this big mansion in the forest. You come through the forest. This mansion is a reference to Luigi's mansion, pretty plainly, I'd imagine. It's the same layout as the foyer. Well, it's supposed to be the same layout as the foyer from Luigi's mansion. This isn't a texture. I thought it would be a good idea to individually model each log. It was not a good idea. Coming up here, these are all pictures of my cat in the sink. I don't know why she was in there. This wallpaper texture is done by my friend. I think I'll say the name, and if it's different in the credits, then I'll change it. This was done by Pierce, my friend. Yeah, that's what they're in the credits for, as for the complex textures. I think they're really good. I think they're really good textures. Then coming in this way, I just took a bunch of image of meme cats mixed with people who were involved in the game's cats. This is a meme cat. 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 That's just Maxwell. That's a meme cat. That's a meme cat. This is Garker's cat, I believe. One of Garker's cats. Holy, I forgot I intended for that to be like a jump scare. It would be scary if the clowns could hurt you. I don't know what I was thinking. God, that's a meme cat. That's one of Garker's cats. That's a clock. A really bad clock. That's a meme cat. I believe that is one of my friend's cats there. No, sorry. I'm not sure if this is a meme cat or a friend's cat. This is a meme cat. This is my friend Diego's / Sleepy Lad's cat. That's about it for the cat mansion. This is where the tagline for the game, there's like a few different taglines. In the trailer, it was Guns, Clowns, Cats. I don't know why I put cats. It's not that big of a thing in the game, but whatever. Coming through the forest, I believe you can see a certain person who'd like you to collect their pages over there. That is Slenderman in the forest. It's not. It's just this is a new enemy type that doesn't hurt you because I didn't know how to do that. But it's like a gun clown. There's this is Slenderman. Specifically, it's both a reference to Slenderman and Plants vs Zombies Garden Warfare on the Xbox 360, where they had Slenderman in the forest in that game. This clown is another reference to Ace Attorney. I mentioned this in the Couch Sim video. This is supposed to be Mo from Ace Attorney with a gun. That's about it. Fun fact, the lighting is supposed to be a tiny bit brighter so you can see the skybox in this area and see all the trees. And I specifically mentioned that in the, the video, in one of the devlogs. But because I didn't know how to backlighting at the time, all of the maps only have real-time lights. And so if it's not a real-time light, it won't work whenever you're loading into a new level. So that's good. Motex 3 shotgun hits to kill. The gun variation is quite lame in this game. Like all you do is it's just like every level it just takes slightly less amount of clicks to kill an enemy. It's like, wow, good progression. Somewhere around here there's like a gap in the invisible wall. Yeah, here we go. This is the secret number 2. And what you'll find down here is the stairway from document 087. I tried to replicate it as best I could. I didn't do a good job, but you got the second secret video here. Congrats, you found the second one, another one. I thought I was really funny for using stock art. Honestly, don't know why you did this, but you did. Congrats. Alright, that's about it. That's all it is. It's just a reference. And then we come back up here. We can leave. Or not. Okay, hello. The collision in this game is so buggy because I didn't give the character controller a physics material, so it would constantly like grip to any surface, like any collider that it touches. It wouldn't like slide off. I believe there's no invisible walls here. You can just go through here. I'm gonna, you know, I'll not skip all the clowns. I'll go for 100%. I'm gonna kill all the clowns. Kill the clowns. Yeah, this level didn't take me too long to finish. My favorite part about it is probably the shotgun. I think it's quite good for this game, anyways, and the sound effects good. Again, courtesy of Miles. It was mostly me working on this game, but we had a few other people, like I just said, Miles, and we had a few playtesters, and we had Garker, the goat. Again, Melon Speech will come up soon. But right now in the game, you're going through the levels and you're wondering, well, damn, we're following this trail of killer clowns. Where are they coming from? And so you just progress through the level. You follow all the killer clowns. You see where they come from. This would be a lot more threatening if it could actually hurt you. I was also scared of reloading the scene because of the, you know, the gun glitch that I never fixed until after I made the game. You can see the skybox kind of clip in there. I just forgot to turn the clipping planes up on the camera. Yeah, and then you come this way, and then it leads you to the town. This is the best weapon in the game, in my opinion, anyways, because you can hold it down. It's the only one you can hold down, I'm pretty sure. Maybe you can hold down the others, but it's not enough to like. It's not enough to just justify holding it down. But this just like absolutely shreds enemies. Now this is the level with the most references, so this one will take a while. So you're coming from the forest, you should be able to see the trees, but you can't. And I needed names for all the shops, so I asked a lot of my friends what the names for the shops should be, and my friend Logan said you should call this one Beef. And there's blood inside, and it says closed for something. And right beside it is Beef 2. And Beef 2 is exactly the same, more blood inside, and it's also closed. Beef is like a recurring joke in some of my games. Like if there's ever a bunch of shops, one of them will be called Beef and then like a random number. We have everything except fabric softener, which is a reference to Captain Underpants. But I spelt I spelt fabric softener wrong, so I had to cross out the U and put I. We got Halloween shit again. It has been hotel humor times. Okay, cut me back. I was very naive. We got the candles. It's Halloween supplies. It's another shop. Oh god. First of all, I'm not sure what that is in the background. I believe that's a picture of someone's cat. I'll put it up on screen. We've got Persona 3 and Boar's Juice. Okay, this was okay. There's just a lot of dumb references. I'll explain the Persona one in a second. Boar's Juice is just, I asked people again like what item should I put in the shop. My friend who I brought up earlier, Leafy Lad, just said we should put Boar's Juice. He's a Fire Emblem fan, and so Boars is like a character in Fire Emblem, I believe, Fire Emblem 6, and he's just a big fan of boars, and he's like, oh, we should put Boar's Juice. This is the first shop. There's a sale on pumpkins, so there is. We got work, where else? Very funny, mate. We've got. Okay, I'm like being very narcissistic to my old self. I do find it slightly charming, all of these really unfunny jokes. Fresh produce. You got apples and soda. On fresh produce. Dirt. Cans of dirt. I think that joke's alright. Persona 3 is in here because at the time I was like a Persona fan. Persona 3 is the only one the only Persona game I kind of like, and it crashed. I'm running this on a gaming like computer, like a proper gaming computer that was an upgrade to what I developed this game on, and it fucking crashed. Oh my! It's definitely the rain. Most levels with the rain effect crash. It's because I don't know why. It's not that intensive of an effect. But anyways, if it crashes, I'll just keep restarting. But at the time, I was just big into Persona, and I remember Unfresh Produce was supposed to have a Persona 3 in it. I can't remember why I deleted it, but there's a screenshot in one of the devlogs that has Unfresh Produce with Persona 3 on the shelf, so I'll put that up on the screen. A lot of this level was just like filling it up with references. Oh, speaking of, shop called Video Game References, that's Cuphead. That, for the longest time, up until like late last year, I considered Cuphead to be my favorite game ever made. Now it's probably Ultra Kill, even though it's not finished, but I don't imagine it will fall off in the last two or three levels. We got Toys, that's the Doomslayer, and Kaku Demon. Fred Pizza, oh gee, I don't know what that could be a reference to. Oh, and if you look inside the shop window, there's more. This is a GoPro camera that says V1 on it. It's a reference to Ultra Kill. A bunch of Pokeballs. There's Couch Simulator in the background, and that's Scout from TF2. I think his speech bubble's supposed to say salad. I'll put that up on screen. I have all the assets for this game saved. It's just I don't have the project saved. This is a Lambda from Half-Life. Fairly self-explanatory. Oh, okay. There's a lot to explain here. This is Bob's Tools. We don't sell tools. That's the height of that joke. This is the Mega Chippy. Binley Mega Chippy was a huge meme at the time. So Mega Chippy. I don't think it's that unfunny. Like it's not as bad as like Ugandan Knuckles or something like that, which thankfully isn't in this game because it was outdated even when I made this game. But the Mega Chippy's here. We got clothes, but more. Okay, well there's clothes here first, and it's a clothes shop. This is the Cult's logo from Dusk. That's Minos Prime. That's a reference to Ace Attorney. That's Phoenix Wright's shirt. That's a reference to Ghost Trick. That is Sissel's shirt, or like Sissel's outfit from Ghost Trick, and that is a reference to Yakuza. That is Kiryu's outfit from Yakuza. And then we got clothes but more expensive, and it's just Supreme. We got the Mogus, we've got Soup, we got Killer Clowns 2016, and we got Smiley Face. And the joke, I guess the joke is at the time in 2016, I don't know if this is true, but I think at the time in 2016, Supreme was like a big thing on YouTube. Maybe it was a bit after that, but like Supreme was, I just like clowning on it because it's like, oh, it's just clothes but more expensive. Shop but blue. Let me kill that guy first. So on here we've got references to more toys. There's Faith. So that's obviously John from Faith, and that's Amy from Faith. Toys. I believe I added this in a later update. This is a reference to one of my games that I made way after this. Not way out, like a few months after this. Simple Sewings. So that's the farmer that is technically Melon Dusk, but I'll get to that in the Simple Sewings video, and the chicken from that game. This guy's been shooting me the whole time. We got this fountain. This is probably the only song in the game that you're hearing right now that I just don't have anything to say. Like, it's just fine, it sits at the level. There's nothing like, there's no funny comment I have about the song. It's just good. This is another shop. This is an animated shop. I believe you can go inside one of these. Oh, it's this animated shop. Completely different shop. This is the third secret video. Secret video 3. You're awesome. Look for the next one. Yes, baby. You find it. The third secret. Okay, no, loops. I just took random stock images. This area is kind of interesting. So you just got a bunch of shops lining the walls. I don't think there's any jokes on them. They're just shops, but blue. It's like a shopping center. You come around here. Keep going. There's a purpose for this, but I don't remember what. I remember specifically this hallway has like a purpose, or it's like a reference to something, but I cannot for the life of me remember what it's supposed to be a reference to. Maybe it's like a level design from another shooter game. I'm not too sure, but there's something up with this hallway and I just don't remember what. And there's more clowns. They're killer clowns. More shops. I don't think you can go upstairs here, but I'll try. No, yeah, you can't. Lame. Coming through here, we've got like a crashed lantern on the floor, and we've got like this crack in the ceiling. There's rain falling through. Could have executed that one better, but anyways. And then we've got the big shop. I don't have much to say. This is the big shop. Do not enter unless it's really, really funny. So it's like an abandoned big shop. That's why there's no items on the shelves. That's the lore reason as to why there's no items on the shelf. The real reason is that I didn't want to put all the items there, and I also was scared of it crashing. So, and as you can see, it already crashes. And it's definitely because of that rain effect, like I said. Not much to say here. It's just basic ass level design. This is still better than the other two games, I guess, because it's an actual thing you play at least. But yeah, come through shopping center. There's more. So you have to go around this side. There's a lot of clowns out here. I do not recall. I think these are just normal. Like, there's not really a reference here. Wait. Yeah, there's not really a reference to anything here. It's just a crane. And there's something behind here. There's a reference to GTA. The infamous "you're not supposed to be here, go away" sign. I just replaced it with "you are supposed to be here, please stay." Funny. Again, like, most of this game's humor comes from the very end. Like, most of what I like about this game is at the very end. But I do not regret making this game. Like I said, it's something that is really fundamental in me understanding how to make games now. We've got these like vent fans on the top. You drop down, boom, level design. We've got the flickering lights as well. Except it doesn't flicker, it's just the light source. Remember, I watched a YouTube tutorial for that one. And then there's like planks, and then there's another "don't enter unless it's really funny." This is from one of the gifts. Fun fact about these shelves, you see this shelf, the third one up, that's flipped inside out because I accidentally scaled it inside itself. But you would never be able to tell unless I said. These shelves are flipped inside out, this one specifically here. And then I forgot to randomize all the boxes. I did in a later update, but in the initial release of this game, all the boxes were exactly the same on all the shelves. Anyway, so in the back of the mega shop that's been abandoned, you find a mysterious bunker in the floor, and it brings you down to the bunker area. This is where you get the rifle. The rifle's maybe the best weapon in the game, actually. Nah, fire rate isn't good enough. Oh, you didn't see that guy there, but this is the Joker. It's supposed to be Joaquin Phoenix's Joker, and I believe, is it Joaquin? I don't know. Joaquin Phoenix. It's supposed to be Joaquin Phoenix's Joker. And the reason he just stands there after chasing you is that he just gets scared, and he just like freezes up. It's a very mean-spirited joke at people who are like big fans of the Joker, and it's like, oh dude, I'm the Joker in real life. But yeah. Here we go. This is what I'm talking about, that I forgot to randomize the boxes, and again, that shelf's flipped inside out. This is still the bunker underneath the shop. We got cans of food and all. Boom, boom, boom. You can zoom in this level. There's a bunch of there's like spilled juice. There's just a bunch of these like shutters. Behind one of these shutters, I don't know why I didn't include it in the game, but it's still there behind this barrier. There's like a decapitated like killer clown head. I imagine maybe it's because when I changed my mind near the end of the game that I wanted it to be robot clowns and not real clowns. So I probably just removed it because it was just like a clown head with a bunch of blood surrounding it. And it's not like I removed it because it was super violent or whatever. I removed it. I removed it just I like I said, just because it didn't fit. And like it was literally the clown model clipped down in here, and then it had X's over its eyes, and then this exact like pool of red underneath it, and that's it. I'll put up a picture if I still have it, but I might not. These TVs used to play static, and then I don't know what the hell happened, but these video renderers would crash the game consistently, so I had to remove it. This is secret number 4. Also, take note of the song that's playing around the secret TVs. You'll hear it. Maybe in another level, I'll explain it whenever it's more hearable. The music for this level that's actually playing in the background is just pretty good. It's another one. It's like this and the last one are the only two I don't have many comments about. Anyways, I can't really read what this says. Okay, Kangars. Whoa. You did it. You really did it. I can't read that. Imagine this fish is a clown. Was a clown. Cause okay, yeah, fine. But you also find hidden scene number 4. Alright. Like I said, there's one in every level, and the last one is the only actual one that gives you something useful. We got the zoom. This area also used to consistently crash the game. I wonder if we'll get the crash. That'll be freaking awesome. I'm not removing the clowns because I want to, but because I think they're good, might make the game crash. So. You can see the city. Again, that's the main goal you're working towards in the whole game, is going towards the city. These are supposed to be windows, they're just not very apparent. I don't mind this environment, it's really weird, and yeah, it's like a really weird environment, and I don't mind it. I just don't know what it's supposed to be. It's like this operation underneath the shop that has been taken over by the killer clowns. These are supposed to be vents, but they were too small. You're looking into one of the shop things here. I don't think there's anything of note behind here, but if there is, I'll put it on screen. You're supposed to, as I was saying, you're supposed to be going through vents, but the character controller didn't fit, so I just had to make them really big vents. There's supposed to be an area behind here. It's like a clown club where they're all hanging out, but I never finished that. And now you're on to the next level. This is the factory. This is just the crossbow from Dusk. Straight up. The song in this level is kind of a banger. I quite like it. I would actually argue maybe the crossbow is the best weapon in the game. Although these are contenders for best weapon. My favorite weapon was the SMG, but the crossbow might be the best one. Because it's just a hunting rifle with a higher firing rate. This is supposed to be a swamp area. It's not very good, but it's a swamp area. These are like swamp huts. But right beside the swamp is like this big factory. I remember this factory is... I got like halfway through the factory and had to leave for holidays, and I got really annoyed about it. So like when I came back from my holidays, I've like finished the entire rest of the game within like a week or 2, if I recall. Again, this is a long time ago. I might not be fully accurate in those descriptions. But yeah, you're invading this factory. It's been overrun by the killer clowns. This is not the killer clowns factory. It's just a different place. I just wanted to have a factory level. Yeah, I think these walls in the game files are called poop wall or something like that. Oh my god. Oh good god. Look at how many models there are of these fucking chairs, and I'm surprised that level 3 and 4 are the ones that crashed people's games, and not this one. I'm not sure what exactly this was supposed to be. It was just supposed to be a generic factory. There's supposed to be a big statue up here, but if I recall, I didn't do that. This is supposed to be a broken wall, like the killer clowns broke through the wall into the factory. Yeah, there's supposed to be like a big statue here, but they're supposed to have a bunch of clowns. So it's supposed to be like a really grandiose, weird factory. That's supposed to be an elevator. There's not much to say about that. That's like a waiting room type area down there. This is the main factory. There's a new clown type, which I'll elaborate on in a second. Back then, whenever I made this, it was a big thing. They called Twitter users like clowns. And so the joke is, this clown loves Twitter, but it also like gives your protagonist, you're like, oh wait, this clown has a Twitter logo on it. It's not Twitter, sorry, it's cheaper. How dare I? Fun fact about the clown models, you may think they're textured, but they're not. I didn't know how to do texturing, so all of like the features and colors on the clown models are actually backed into the clown's model, and it's really horrible. And like the clown, I'll put it up on screen, but the clown model has a bunch of like faces on the face, if that makes sense. But cut me some slack, again, it was the first time I ever used Blender. Anyway, so this is the factory area, not much going on. But as I was saying, like, as you're progressing to find the source of the killer clowns, you start seeing these clowns that have cheaper, which is the Twitter stand-in logo, on them. If I recall, one of these walls is like a weird texture. Yeah, there it is. You can go through this wall. This song is called Goofy Ah. That is okay. That was a really poorly aged emoji. Oh no. But this song is called Goofy Ah, and if I recall, Miles made it way before this game and just let me use it in the game. What else? Oh yes, Goofy Ah appears in like every game I've made since then, except for the Barren Waters, and the other one, Simple Sewings, that doesn't have any audio in it. But every other game, I'm pretty sure, it does appear in. This is Secret 5. I'm not even. This is Secret number 5. Number 5. 5 whole secret videos also. You so cool. I've got 6 of these videos to make. Just please pretend it was good and go away. Okay, dude, you have 6 videos. 6 videos is too much, man. Come on. Another cheaper clown. And then come down here, you like fell into like the sewage area. You're coming out of the sewage hole. This is around the time I started using these like stupid CSG Boolean things, but as you can see, they cause like terrible geometry here. So always design your levels first before making walls, because I had to cut holes in the walls, and then that's how I ended up with that. Anyways, you come out of the factory. You're dumped out of the factory through the sewage place. There's a fish here. I believe the fish used to be black, but then you couldn't see it on the background, so I had to make the fish orange. That's about it. It's just one singular fish in this entire lake. And you come down the lake, and you go through the sewers, and then you enter my favorite level in the game. This is the city. It is I don't know. It's just the peak of my game design here. First of all, I drew this way before I like even started designing a city level. I think the city buildings pretty perfectly replicate, like, they're even better than like the city images used throughout the game. I think this level looks fine. It used to have rain, but you know, it crashed. If I ever make a remake of Killer Clowns, I'll definitely bring it back to the full vision, you know, rain and all. You got a bunch of clowns here to kill, and you have the dual pistols. They also one-shot. Everything after level like 4 one-shots. We've got a bunch of different building pattern designs. That one's a reference to Dusk. That's the cult sigil. It's pretty obvious. This song that's playing right now it has a history behind it. I consider it to be like not the main theme of the game, but it's like the theme that best represents the game. It's the city levels theme. It's called Hey World Killer Remix, and it's a remix of an old song that Miles made. That is I need to look this name up. Give me a second. Wait. It is a Kasane Teto song that Miles made. I'll put the original up now with the lyrics and all. It had lyrics and all. I'll put it up now. But yeah, that song was put into Killer Clowns, and it's probably my favorite song from Killer Clowns, and it wasn't even made in Killer Clowns. So, yeah. Anyways, the city level. I remember this level was the one that consistently crashed for everyone, and the game was delayed by like a week because I was trying to figure out how to fix it. Fuck, like I didn't know how to do collision culling back then. If I still had the game files, I'd go back to this game and add a collision culling so it's actually playable. This is a clothes shop inside a building. I can't remember. This is based off like this really specific place from my childhood. Yes, there is a store that my dad used to work at when I was a kid, and I'll say the name in case like I get doxed or whatever. But it was like a big chain store, and they sold clothes and all. They sold clothes and everything. And it had the same layout as this, so it's kind of a reference. These shirts are all reused from the other level. These are just piles of clothes. That's the checkout desk. Pretty lazy level design. No entry, staff only, coming to the back. Remember, we hate shelves. It's kind of a funny gag. So all the boxes are off the shelf, but they still have the shelves. Yeah, you can see it better here. You can see the shelf is turned inside out. I will keep bringing that up. We got these mannequins here. Not much to them. Coming through this area. Come up here, and you've got more mannequins over there, but they don't do anything. Got a clown here, clown there. And you can like look out over the balcony. It's so nice to play this game again, to be honest. I'm not saying much of note because I'm just kind of taking it in. But yeah, we got the collapsed like balcony thing here with the stairs. You come through this alleyway. You can see the animations aren't synced up with the sound effects of the gun because the fire rate is faster than the animation. Help wanted, please. And it is on the back. That is a reference. It's a reference to a certain game. I don't know what game, but there's a game with like robot bear. Okay, it's FNAF Help Wanted. That's the joke. I do not know what this is. What does this say? I'll pull it up here and I'll show you what it says. I do have the file for it. This one says video game mix FNAF reference. Audience shocked. And then there's two other reused posters. So yeah, this building's a FNAF reference. It is like what is like not 1-to-1, but it is just Freddy Fazbear's Pizza from the first game of FNAF, very clearly. You've got the stage, you've got Pirate Cove over there. It's very clearly Five Nights at Freddy's. And then we've got this curtain. That's about it. But these planks, you can actually walk through them, and you can come all the way down the back hallway. Oh, that's kind of cool. You can like slam your face against the wall and see behind it. This is the last one. The password for the secret locked file is that number. There's a locked file in the extras, which I will show later. Wow, we did it. So this is the final secret. I don't know why. I don't know how. The stock images are getting like progressively worse. You're so cool. And then the password for the secret file. I'm gonna screenshot that so I don't forget it later. There's a secret file in the game's extras that's called like "Do Not Unleash Him" or something like that, and it's password protected. You'll get to see that later. Exiting Freddy Fazbear's Pizza, we have the last lineup of clowns in the game, so I tried to add every clown I could to here. That didn't work well, did it? And then we have the big finale of the game. This is Cheaper HQ. This is supposed to be Twitter. What does this say? Going downhill since 2006. And then there's Clown Factory, but it's crossed out because it's actually cheaper. And you enter the cheaper building owned by the one and only Melon Dusk. This is, being honest, Melon Dusk is probably one of my favorite characters I've ever created, just because he's so stupid, and also because Garker's performance as him really brings him to life. He has a big cutscene up here. I'm not going to listen to the whole thing because it's like 25-ish minutes long, and I would just be sitting in silence for the whole thing. But link in the description if you want the full speech. I have it up on like an unlisted video on YouTube, so that's in the description. Now showing the end of the game starring cheaper founder Melon Dusk. I wonder who that's supposed to be a parody of. Huh. But yeah, at the time, Elon Musk had like just bought Twitter. What the fuck? No, yeah, there we go. At the time, Elon Musk had just bought Twitter, and he was ruining it. And I like making fun of Elon Musk, so you know I'm not gonna pass up an opportunity to make fun of him. And so this entire character was made just in vain because I don't like Elon Musk. And this is Melon Dusk.
Well. What do we have?
I haven't listened to this in ages.
Do you have any idea what you just walked in?
He just does an evil speech for 20-something minutes. I'm gonna shoot him. They're gonna have me shut up, unfortunately. But again, link in the description. He's got a really good speech. It gives you a lot of lore, and it gives you the appeal of a character like Melon Dusk. Even though some of the writing is quite outdated, I think it's still pretty good. So Melon Dusk would appear in front of you, and he would give his whole speech about the true nature of the game. So all this time you've been following the killer clowns all the way up to this area, like the Clown Factory, and it's revealed that Melon Dusk, who is the richest person in the world because he found $13 trillion just lying on the street one day, he bought Twitter, cheaper, and he renamed it to B. And he used its power to create an infinite army of clowns to take over the world. It's a pretty stupid plot, but I like it. But anyway, he like rambles on for 20 minutes, and during the whole time you just have the option to shoot him, and then he like the screen disappears, and then it says, "Evil speech in progress. Do not shoot the screen with a gun. Please don't. Please don't. Please. I paid a lot for it. It was like 40 quid. It was a good deal." But please don't, please stop, don't. And so at the end of the game, you shoot Melon Dusk's screen. It's not actually Melon Dusk, but he's like nearby, and you exit the game, killer clowns, through this door. Good ending. So then you stopped Melon Dusk and his evil clowns and destroyed the Clown Factory. I mean, the cheaper HQ. However, in the process, the explosion was so big that your body was ripped apart with 19, I think that's 9 No, 1,952 kilotons of explosive force, and you died on the spot. Congratulations. And you have to alt F4 out of the game to leave. So that is the main story of Killer Clowns 2016. What a game. That is it pretty much, but there's a lot to talk about in the extras. This is the extras museum I stole from Ultrakill. Got these big statues. I spent a while on this museum. I think I had it done before the actual game was finished, which is not a good sign because I'm more concerned with the prospect of finishing the game than the prospect of finish. I was more concerned with like the prospect of finishing the game rather than actually finishing the game, if that makes sense. Like, I was more concerned about what would happen after I finished it. This is Credits Museum. That is a totally original idea. And then we have everyone who contributed stuff to the game. We'll come over here first. So this is the first person controller by Jess Case, or G Case. This is just a big logo of the game. So this is Garker. Garker is the voice of Melon Dusk, and he's a piece of shit for making me go through 30 minutes of dialogue. I had to sit through all of it and edit it. It took me like an hour. It was not that bad. We got Leapy Lad, playtesting an emotional support animal, but he didn't like that I said animal, so I crossed it out and I just put support. And then, oh yeah, no, so he's an emotional support thing. Comic Sans moment. That's Leapy Lad. This is Miles. Musician with plus help with some 2D art. We got the cheaper clown here. He's kind of there, and this is me. This is my old profile picture. Big Cineman 345 developer, director, and various other things because I'm just that good. Dances ethically. Scrap stuff is in this way. You can already hear the radio from like really far away. I need to fix that sometime. And then we've got our cats, like the wall of cats. So yep, that's a cat. It's a cat. It's a whole bunch of cats. I think this is my friend Logan's cat. I'm not. No, it's not. No, it's not. I don't know. There's cats. There's I don't know whose cat is who. It's been a while. I know this is my cat, the one in the sink. And then here we have David Szymanski. Guess what he made? And then there's a big Dusk logo. Thanks for letting me use the logo, David. So for this game, I took like a wild shot in the dark, and I was like, I wonder if I message David Szymanski and ask him, can I use the logo? Would he reply and say yes? And he actually did, which is really cool. I like developers who engage with people who like their game, and I did have a few conversations with him throughout like the coming months, and like I don't know, eventually like I wouldn't say we were friends or anything. I just talked sometimes. So yeah, David Szymanski was in a small part involved in Killer Clowns 2016, and I think that's kind of cool. We got oh my god, this is my brother Zane. He fucking traced over like someone else's art and then just said it was his thing, and then he put a bunch of logos on it, and then he put his old username. So my brother, he didn't do anything honestly, but he just wanted to be here, and now he is. Yeah, he just wanted to be in the game. We got my friend Pierce, help with some textures, and CEO of Poland division. Grandeur Dior, playtesting, and something else. I don't know. Who is this person again? The reason he's here is that there's supposed to be a sign. I'm not sure where it went. There's supposed to be a sign that said play Grandeur Dior's epic minigames on Roblox, and it's just at that time he was like doing old retro Roblox games, and he made a minigames thing that he abandoned like after like a week. But still, this is Bat. This is all the scrap content room. So over here, this is unused music track. Whoa, hold up. It was supposed to be for the pause menu that I never figured out how to do. First placeholder clown models. So yeah, these are, as I said, these were the placeholder clown models. Not much to that. This is the old shotgun I was talking about that I tried so hard to like make. Early shotgun model. This place is boarded off, but there's a big fish in there. I recall there was a picture of Melon Dusk there that got taken out, which reminds me, in the game you only see this, I'll put it on screen, this Melon Dusk sprite, but there's actually two, and it's supposed to be a GIF. but it would crash the game consistently. And it wasn't because of that. It was just because I was so terrible at coding at that time. I probably still am now. This is a scrapped SMG that was based on the one from Devlogs, because I was in the Devlogs at that time. We got the early bat weapon. You were supposed to be able to use the bat. We got the final clown over here. So like I said, each like it is such a terrible model. It looks fine, but like optimization wise, it's like it would make any beginner just like curl up into a ball and like explode. Over here we have, this is a scrapped Roblox clown that was supposed to appear in level 6. Yep, he certainly was. But I can't remember why I didn't add him. But he didn't do anything special. He was just a metal robot clown. Maybe I scrapped them because their clowns are already robots. I think that's it. They're already robots, so there didn't need to be a robot clown because they're already robots. This is the early clown model, if I recall. Yeah, this is the first clown model I made. It looks nearly identical. The hands are flipped inside out because, you know, hahaha. It looks nearly identical to the final clown. It's just like slightly different. And this is the clown con ball pit. And that's all there is in the credits museum. Let me check my notes here. Yes. And then, yeah, that's pretty much everything out here. There's a big Made with Unity logo. There's 2 clown statues. Overall, it's a nice place to look at because, like I said, I had loads of fun making this game, even if it's not the best, even if it's not good. And it taught me a lot about game development, so I really appreciate Killer Clowns for that. It also has, I don't know, it just has such an aura of like fun oozing out of it, even though the game isn't fun. Like, you know that I had fun making this game, which is not, which for the game I'm working on right now is not the case. All of the deep. We'll get there when we get there. I'm just gonna go through all of my games like chronologically in release order. But we are still not done with Killer Clowns because there are extras in the game, and then there's an extras folder, and then there's the devlogs, and then there's the early builds, and then there's also something I want to do at the end, and then there's the soundtrack, but I think I've already touched on that. Extras, got level 0. So whenever I first started work on Killer Clowns, yes, so this was the scrap level. No, this was the graphics test level I used. This was like the early version of level 1. Whenever I first started work on the game, I made a graphics test thing to see what I could do. This little scene is what level 1 is based on, and it includes the original prototype clown scene in the credits level. Click credits on the main menu. Yeah, so there it is. This is the graphics test for Killer Clowns. I mean, it looks... This is just what the game looked like in the early builds. I think it doesn't look too bad. It looks nearly identical to the finished game, but the gun models positioned different. It's just everything slightly different, but yeah. And we got the early clown. That's it. This is like the first clown model I ever did in Blender. It looks great. I can't exit this. I have to restart again. There's a general aura of user unfriendliness to Killer Clowns 2016. The other games nowadays, because they try to imitate. The trailer level. So Killer Clowns had a teaser trailer, and this was the level in that teaser trailer. And it just says KC 2016 coming soon to PC, and then there's some of the gun models and all, and there's the pumpkin. That's it. I mean, it's like kind of interesting, I guess, but no one's that big of a fan of Killer Clowns apart from me that they would want to see that. And then the Clown Cyclopedia. So these are the oh yes, these are the names of all the clowns. I forgot. So we got Nickel Smart, basic ass bitch. Probably okay. Again, Has-Been Hotel humor, cut me some slack. Basic ass bitch, probably the first thing you think of when you think scary clown. Has a bat because his dad lent it to him, and despite trying, he feels that actually hurting anyone with it because it's made of rubber. I think I forgot that the clowns were supposed to be robots when I was writing this, so I wrote them as if they're real people. So there's Killer Clown's lore inaccuracy, or maybe that's just, I don't know. I don't know. This game was really poorly made. Also, all of these buttons are images. You can see like the image is cut off because I didn't know how to do text, which I figured out soon after. This is Curls the Clown. It's supposed to be Mo. This motherfucker has a gun. Used to travel with the very big circus. However, due to an incident involving a murder happening twice, it got shut down. He now roams the streets shooting anyone who doesn't laugh at his jokes, which are usually pop culture references. Yeah, that's just Mo from Ace Attorney. Cheaper clown. He uses cheaper at least 13 times a day and radiates its toxic energy. He worships the app and spends all day getting upset when someone disagrees with him. Unbearable to be around. Yeah, this is just like the general, like, what was it? I mentioned this earlier. Like, back in the day, I used to just it was all about Twitter people are clowns. That's the joke. They still are. I hate Twitter, but you know, I wouldn't make these jokes nowadays. Loser clown. He won't stop rambling about how he relates to some guy he saw in a movie, and he's made his profile picture on every platform this character, to the point where he now dresses up as a IRL. Generally useless and too scared to attack, yet joins in on terrorizes people and freezes when confronted. And Melon Dusk, not a clown. Current owner of Cheaper, although most people don't know who he is yet. He hasn't announced his ownership. He hasn't announced his ownership yet, but he's waiting for the right time to send it even more downhill. So yeah, there's a galore inaccuracy, obviously, because in 2016, Elon Musk did not own Twitter. So in this universe, Melon Dusk has owned Twitter for a while, but he only announced it in parallel with when Elon Musk... I don't know, it's stupid. He hates being called a melon, despite his name being spelt that way. It's pronounced Melon. His suspiciously green skin and melon-shaped head don't help. He must also own Unity, apparently, because I added this in for the fucking Unity update. Jeez, it's so corny. It's been going downhill lately, hasn't it? Ha ha ha, very funny. Yeah, Clown Encyclopedia. That's it for the actual stuff in the game. But here we have the extras folder for Killer Clowns. How long has this recording been going on for? Oh god. 2077, so this is a teaser. This is teaser imagery for... Wait, I'll full screen this so I don't have to keep cropping the screen in the edit. This is all teaser imagery for Job Well Done, the game that I will do one day. It's gonna be like... I'm gonna wait until I feel like I'm ready to tackle this game again, because it's going to be like my magnum opus. At least that's how I planned it at the time. It's just going to be a first-person shooter again, and it's technically like a sequel to Killer Clowns. I don't want to get too into it now, but Job Well Done will share the same timeline as Killer Clowns, and characters like Melon Dusk will come back and be in Job Well Done pretty heavily. So yeah, that's kind of interesting. Learn more. So, oh yes, these bring you to the devlogs for Job Well Done, which I am not going to look at right now. they're devlogs on my channel, you can go look at them. So I don't need to make a developer commentary on them because there's nothing to commentate on. Do not open under any circumstances. Do not open.zip. Yes, okay, so I didn't, in the newer versions of... I just didn't know that you could double click into the folder, but at the time I thought the folder was locked. And this is y.txt. It's been waiting for you, waiting to be released. Please don't open the folder, but if you really have to, the answer lies in the secret videos. Please don't, for our sake. So the code to unzip it is hidden within the secret videos, which I showed you, and there's a password. If I... Give me a second. I will pull up my screenshots. Let me see the password, because I don't know it off by heart, obviously. The password is 445599. I don't know if that's like a reference to anything or if I just came up with that. 445599. You unzip it. It's just a troll face PNG. I'll admit that's like funny in concept if you couldn't already just open it without having to unzip it. These are the itch.io page screenshots. I don't really need to show any of it. You saw all of it. Old itch.io page screenshots. It's exactly the same. This is just when I only had level 1 finished. And a few other levels. We got random dev screenshots. Here we go. So this is like the real meat. So this is an image of the 087 room. This is when I accidentally hit Control A, and I don't know why I thought it was really funny that when everything's selected, everything lights up and there's a bunch of lines. This is just like a Unity view of the second level. This is the AI test, as you can see. Before he had a bat, he would just punch you. Riveting stuff. You can see also the skybox is grey in here because it was supposed to be grey. I didn't know how to do a custom skybox, but as you know, because the scenes load weirdly, and I didn't like optimize the scenes to load weirdly, it would immediately black out the skyboxes, or to not load weirdly. Sorry. We got album cover. America.png. It's just that is the Blender model of the gun. You can see that it's got pretty bad topology. Obviously, I don't know why it's got like an egg slicer down the middle, but it does. At Freddy.png, BFF.png. It's obviously a joke. Bruh.png, Chad.png. So this is just everything in the game follows like the cube box naming format. Couch sim, yep. Did you know that in Killer Clowns 2016, the third shelf up on the metal shelf model is inside out? Yep, there it is. There's like more. That's more clear that it's inside out on this photo. This is gato.ong.png. This is Leafy Lad's cat, if I recall correctly. Gato.png, and then I must have missed this one. There's a ghost trick reference. Ghost here in the game. This is the test scene without the pixelation filter on it. Pretty cool. Hammer, there's a hammer. It's supposed to be in the game, but like, good god, look at it. Look at it. And then there's also the HD thing with the bat. This is the bat weapon you're supposed to have. You could swing the bat and all, it worked. I just switched to guns. Hell.png, which is all the cats. I am very normal. Public void shoot. Devlog, bang bang, haha bang bang. I do hide a bunch of like funny Devlogs in all my games still that people will never get to see. I heart Boolean CSG tool. I heart Boolean CSG tool.png. It oh my god. Every time I try to finish this, I like my voice cracks or I lose my voice or something. I heart Boolean CSG tool.png is when I figured out how to cut holes into the floor. It's a bad tool, don't use CSG tool. I hope you're happy, Leafy. Yeah, there you go. Boar's juice. I love navmesh, I love navmesh, I love navmesh, I love navmesh. So this is, I believe it, I was annoyed that the clowns, like if you stood on the grass, the clowns couldn't get you. I don't know why I thought that was an issue, because they can't hurt you anyways, but just like Omori 2, just like Omori 3. I think I remember I sent the screenshots in with like the pixelated filter, and someone's replied with just like Omori. Oh yes, this game has controller support. I forgot. This is like my only game with controller support. And WASD, and we've got shitty ass gamepad left stick. This is the prototype version of the Mo clown. This is the object. Here we go. This is the object hidden in level 1. This is also the early version of the level 1 scene as I was building it. This is the park. This was my first attempt at making the hunting rifle near the start of the game's development, and this is like after like a while of development, so my skills clearly improved as time went on. Peak, and it's just a shelf. This is a thing of the gun, like you can see the gun and the laser it shoots out. Pump kib. Remember melee weapons, so yeah, this is that default scene. You got the melee weapon you can swing. So after I make 087, then you tell me I can make this .png. That's the stairs. This is all the clowns and their test scene. The object is also hidden outside Freddy Fazbear's Pizza in the final level. There's the object. That is it. That's all it's... Oh wait, no it's not. It just wouldn't keep going. On Fresh Produce, there you go. You can see Persona 3 there. Turtle, which is Garker's cat on the wall. Typo, fabric softener. I don't know why I had a screenshot of this, because it was, oh, you can see it in the game, but whatever. Unknown.png. There's a story behind this clown, and there's originally going to be 2 secret levels, and one of them would be like a secret horror themed level, but I just never got around to doing any of them. So Yeah, there was gonna be like a Poppy Playtime parody level because that was big at the time, where it would be like a parody of Mascot Horror with like horror clowns, but it just wasn't scary, and that was the joke. And then we have the blue version of the city before I changed the color to be more accurate. That's it. That's riveting stuff. Steam artwork. So yes, there's just artwork here that you can use to put the game in your Steam library like this. It's kind of cool. The red one was for like the release final version of the game, and the black one is just the one universally for the game. Trailer footage. This is just all the video for the trailer, and it's got the lines from Garker for the trailer.
Well, what do we have here?
Okay, I'll not play that whole thing, but it's Melon Dusk talking. That's it for what's included with the game. I have some early builds here. So most of this is just me going through the stuff in the game, and I apologize. I said there was a lot to talk about. There technically is. There's just like so much that I get overwhelmed and I can't choose what to talk about. Let's see here. Killer Clowns. I have Killer Clowns version 0 and Killer Clowns with no version number. I'll try version 0 and see if that's anything. Oh yes, this is the playtester build. So this will be interesting. Do the extras have anything? Oh no, it still has the consecutive. Oh, it's so loud. It's so loud. Okay, let's play. So level 6 wasn't finished, level 5 wasn't finished. Oh, level 5. Oh no, you can go level 6. Oh yeah, so this is when it had more clowns. So this is basically the full game, but before I tweaked everything. So there are some things that are probably different. So this is just the pre-release version. I don't think there's much different in this version. Nope, it's the same. I don't know what's different. Actually, I know what's different about this version. You will get to see the early windscreens. What is the shortest level out of all this? I don't know, fucking 1. If we just go through level 1, it's gonna look exactly the same. Maybe like very minor differences in lighting and all that, but apart from that, it's exactly the same. So this was their like pre-release version. The version we just played was like the finished, like definitive bug fixed version. So this one will have a lot more bugs. A lot more bugs. Holy shit. There's an extra clown in there now. Yes, I removed him because he used to walk through the door, I'm pretty sure. I don't know why. Maybe that, I don't know. I'm very bad at remembering. Maybe that was in the game. I'll put it up on screen if I was wrong. Okay, look at this. This is what happens when you used to finish a level. So you did it, rank F, please press Alt F4 and reboot the game to play another level. I'll press Alt F4, but I'm not rebooting the game. Yeah, that's it. There's one last thing I also want to look at. This game had a full development log on itch.io. I'm not going to read all of it, but I'll read a tiny bit of it. This is devlog number 1, so I didn't even have like level 2 finished at this point. Hi, this is the first devlog of hopefully many. I don't know if anyone is reading these, but if you are, welcome. In case it wasn't very obvious, the game has only just begun to come together, and this is the biggest project I've ever done, and it sucks. Stuff will probably change from the original screenshots on the page. For example, this forest scene is a lot lighter, so I did bring it up in the devlog that it's supposed to be brighter, but it's just not. As you can see below, I really wanted to keep it as it was, but it was just not fun having to navigate. It was not fun to navigate, so I made the decision to change things change things like this. Why is it written so? I made the decision to change it. Things like this will change, but I will try to make the game look as good as it can whenever I have no art skill whatsoever. On the right side, this is your first image of the gameplay. You can read these if you want. It's just a really naive, like 2 months in game developer writing a devlog about a bad game. I think it's quite nice to read. Apart from that, not much happened. final devlog. There's the stupid Rob Unity update, and I just use whatever images in my files, which just so happen to be like that Trump mugshot meme from the time. And then version 1.2, bug fixes. And then 1.3 is the one we played. Soundtrack release was announced, and then Melon Dusk was in Lethal Company as a mod. Yeah, that's about it. I don't know. Well, I can talk about why I like this game so much, like why I hold it so near and dear to me. It was the first like proper game I tried making, and it was very fun. I really enjoyed it. I love just putting my soul into making this game, and even though it was absolute garbage, it was my garbage. I still liked it. And if I had to like put it in a list of my favorite games I've made, this would probably be in the top 3. Actually, you know what? We're doing a tier list. We're doing a tier list. Give me a second. Let me pause this. So yeah, intermission. I'll be back in a second. Maybe I'll put something in the intermission. Okay, so I've created this tier list. It's open to the public just so I can save it, so I don't have to re-add the images every time. You can use it if you like. I don't care. I made this tier list, and I'm gonna do this at the end of every commentary now, unless I forget. Let's rank all the games in the tier list. So Couch Simulator 2022. I'll give that like a solid A tier. It's the first game ever, so it started all of it, and it's quite charming. That's going to D. It's just immediately going to D tier. Couch Document 087-1 is going straight to D tier. It's probably my least favorite game I've ever made. Killer Clowns 2016. As I was about to say before I stopped and made this tier list, I would put this in S, not because it's a good game, but because of like what it means to me and what it represents. It represents a time in which I was, I don't know, I just really liked making things, and even though I knew the stuff I was making wasn't good, I still enjoyed like every second of making it, even if it wasn't for fame or whatever. I just enjoyed it. So yeah. I don't think there's much else to say about Killer Clowns really. I don't know, it was just a pretty influential game for me. It's probably the most I've learned from making a game. It's probably one of the most ambitious games I've went for, but it's the only one that actually paid off. As in, I got to finish the game. It did not pay off in any way. Yeah, there's lots I could have talked about still. I could have talked about Melon Dusk a lot more. I feel like he was quite overshadowed. Melon Dusk, like I said, is one of my favorite characters in any of the games I've made, but I'm not sitting through the whole speech in silence for this video. So, like I said, you can go, there's a link in the description that will give you the full speech of his if you care. And yeah, I don't know, I feel like there's lots more to say, but I can't really think of anything. So I'll put that into intermission, I guess, if I had anything more I want to bring up. Um, yeah, I thought this would be a lot longer. Let me check the recording time. It's nearly 2 hours in length, my recording, so it'll be cut down to about an hour and a half, I'd imagine, for the video. I I don't have a lot more to say. I do, like I said, I just said this. I do have a lot more. I just don't know what exactly more I want to say. I don't know. It's more like just one last visit to Killer Clowns for me, honestly, before I move on. Yeah. I wouldn't recommend you play this game. I'd recommend you listen to Melon Dusk maybe, but I wouldn't recommend you play this game. But I'm very happy I made this thing. I think it's one of my favorite things I've made. It's not my favorite. If we go back to the tier list, these are all the rest of the games I've yet to do commentaries on. There are some unreleased ones, but like I don't know why I would do developer commentary on a game that is not released. So no, there's no point. I'll do one on Call of the Deep. That's the only unreleased one I will do commentary on, because I have a lot to say. But yeah, the next commentary will be the Barren Waters. That one should be like fairly short. It'll probably be the shortest out of all of them. And then Couch Simulator VR, which I need to figure out if I can even play that. But yeah, I don't know. This wasn't as long as I thought it would be, but it also wasn't very short. Thanks for watching. If, like I said, if I had anything extra I want to say, it would have been in that intermission where I was making the tier list. Yeah, that's about it. Thank you, Killer Clowns. I'm very happy I made this game. But it's not good. But it didn't need to be good. I don't know. I don't know what else to say. Go away. Get out.